oh, hey, Texas, we're going to be boycotting everything out of Texas. So here's what you do. Here's what we do to help support these fucking phenomenal people that just left Texas so that they could break quorum. Do you know that those Texas representatives are only making $600 a month? And we wonder why we can't get talented people. So they have full-time jobs, and yet they still serve. I mean, you can't make it by on $600 a month unless you're... No, nobody would take that job at $600 a month, because you would still need to go, even if you were independently wealthy, you'd need to be working on organizing your cash all day. You'd need to be managing your money all day or doing charity work. These legislators are only making $7,200 a year. So they're leaving their full-time jobs to help provide a stable democracy, and we've got people that can't even leave their Netflix to get out in the street, to call, to scream, to yell. I can't believe, we've got like a national strike on the 9th or something like that. I can't believe that we're still shopping and going out to eat and buying things. I can't believe shit's still getting delivered from Amazon unless it's dog food. I did need a heating pad one afternoon, really bad. But I'm just saying, I digress. This is some crazy shit. This is about the craziest shit ever. That these people have left the state so that they could go save our democracy. And they've left their full-time jobs. They've left law practices. Some of them are nurses. Some of them are doctors. That people are not getting paid. They have left the state. And little Greg Abbott's down there whining like a little bitch that he can't get him coming back to work. Honey, he didn't have any jurisdiction over those people. And everybody from Missouri, if you lived in the Kansas City area like I did, all you knew is if you crimed in Missouri, you went over to Kansas and they can't come get you. If you crime in Kansas, you go over to Missouri and they can't come get you. We don't extradite people even from Missouri to Kansas. Kansas doesn't go pick up people in Missouri, and Missouri doesn't go pick up people in Kansas when the fucking city goes halfway down the middle. This is all stunts for Fox viewers. Fox viewers are like, well, they can't do that, can they? And then Greg Abbott comes and says, well, I'm going to put out an arrest warrant for everybody. I'm going to get on down here. We're going to rustle up some Democrats. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to go on Fox News, and we're going to tell those ding-dongs who have no idea what's happening in the world that we are going to arrest all them damn Democrats. Because those damn Democrats. And then Greg Abbott goes on squealing like a pig, literally, wee, down there on Fox News with Hannity saying, well, Democrats have been gerrymandering. The fuck we have. There's just more of us. It's not that we've been gerrymandering. It's just there's more of us. They're like, well, Trump's going by last election's numbers. He's like, well, I got 40% of Massachusetts. So Massachusetts would have 40% Republicans in Congress. That's not how that works, dumbass. Because if that were the case, then y'all'd only have 28% of Congress. The rest would be independent, and 30-some-odd% would be Democrats. Because by now, the people that have changed their party from registered Republican to registered independent or registered Democrat is just constant. They are leaving your party. You are panicked, Greg Abbott. You are panicked, Texas. And it's going to be pancakes for dinner, eggs for dinner. We don't need beef. We haven't needed beef for a long time. I have been living with a vegetarian, and I'm just stunned at her unbelievable diet, how much healthier she is. We are pumping our kids and our bodies full of hormone-filled, and we wonder what's wrong with why our fellas are having such a hard time. They're eating they're eating estrogen every night in their steak, and it is a joke at this point. But I digress. Okay, so that's why we have the record amount of low testosterone men. That's why when we wonder how come there are so many guys on this platform that sound like adolescent girls, is because I was actually married to a man that had the testosterone and finally we found out about it, and he refused to do his shots. I say he was married. He refused to do his shots. Then he got implants, but then the implants ran out. These men are eating so much beef that if you do check their testosterone level, it is less than an adolescent prepubescent girl. I'm sure that teenage girls, or adolescent girls have a higher testosterone level than most of our men because they're out there consuming meat nonstop. Full of estrogen. So Texas, boycott Buc-ee's, because that's a mess. That's why Texas has the big huge mess they have with their power lines, because Greg Abbott did a little quid pro quo for the owner of Buc-ee's, don't you know? And that dude has a son, or one of those dudes has a son that was arrested in Travis County, as well as Travis County had that huge big arrest of all of those sneak traffickers. And lo and behold, I didn't see a single goddamn immigrant in that lineup. They were all Whitey McWhiterson from the YT committee, okay? They were all homegrowns, as we call them. But I digress. Yeah, those sweet angel people, I mean to say angels, angelic, are showing us how to do it, showing us how it's done. They are leaving their jobs, their children, their practices, their aging family. Imagine the elderly people that need help and care, especially now that I did the big video yesterday about how Medicaid is kicking everyone out. And if you don't think that these nursing homes are going to close, that our elderly care centers are going to close, yeah, bullshit. Because the only way they stay open is because of Medicaid funding. That's the only way they stay open. We tried to tell all the red voters in the rural Midwest that they were going to lose all their health care, like in the state of Missouri, like it is an OBGYN desert in the state of Missouri. They're like, oh, pro-life, save the babies. You dumbasses. That was never about saving a baby. That was about putting more people on the factory floor. That was about selling enough car seats. Do you know how much the AB laws cut into the CEO profit? Because right before, I know I'm on 14 different subjects right now, sorry about that, but right before they did the whole big pro-life campaign and shut down everything, the Congressional Budget Committee found that the abortion laws were cutting into the CEO salary because it was taking away like $6.9 trillion a year. Because you got to buy a new car seat every time you get in a fender bender. Those car seats aren't going, the stroller prices just went up $100 each. Now, this isn't getting better. Nothing's getting better. Because the Republicans have taken the biggest power grab ever. They're taking our grandmas and throwing them in the street. They're taking the mentally ill and throwing them in jail. And for those that are disabled or trying to, they're bitching because nobody's going to Las Vegas. Las Vegas tourism's down like 11% in the month of June. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, we also have the highest number of non-payments for credit cards right now. More people in this country are 90 days late than we were during the pandemic. Thanks, Donald Trump. Thanks, Republican Party. Go fight, win.
Personally, my number one top pet peeve with Americans is the fact that all Americans have this disdain towards organizing and taking their time when it comes to movements. I don't know what it is about Americans that makes them so inclined to ask, if we're only doing this for a week, I'm on board with this protest. The reasons why protesting, marches, and boycotts seem like they do not work is because people give up. People love their inconvenient, oppressed lives. They love that. They love to live inconvenienced and oppressed, poor lives. Because if you didn't, y'all wouldn't be giving up in a boycott so easily. Now would you? You wouldn't be giving up in a boycott so easily that enacts and promises that there will be change. Because we already know what happens with these politicians. All politicians get money from super PACs. Super PACs are owned by large corporations who have the expenses to lobby. That's how that works. It really is a 2 + 2 = 4 type of situation. But people don't know why that works. So let me walk you through all the way through it. All the way through it. Boycotts are one part of your First Amendment right. Boycotts, protesting, being able to withhold your labor, that is all a part of your First Amendment right. That is your right to free speech and free action in America as long as it's not legal. Thank you. So when people choose to boycott, several things have to happen at the same time. If you have the money to boycott, aka the money to withhold your funds, that's cool. If you don't have money to withhold your funds, what do you need to be doing? Protesting. Where? Outside. If you're able-bodied, get a sign, stand the fuck outside, and make that shit inconvenient for everybody. That's what you're supposed to be doing. If you can't do any of those three, you can't protest inside, outside, you can't protest with your dollar, what are you going to do? You're going to call your representatives. For everything to work and play out, all of these things need to happen at the same time. At the same time. Now, for all the naysayers who say that, oh, well, if you guys choose to boycott beef, we'll be able to get beef cheaper. You know who else runs sales until they can't run a sale anymore? Companies going out of business in the middle of liquidation. what needs to be happening with the leftover beef that y'all are like, we're not touching? You need to go to your churches, your mosques, your synagogues, your temples. You need to go to them and say, hey, anything here that you guys are able to get for your food kitchen, for your food bank, please get from your food bank. What you need to do, you need to call your churches, the pastors, the head of the leaders, the head of the congregation. Tell them, hey, there's a boycott going on. I really know that they're about to throw out this meat. How about you guys go get this meat? And that way you have reduced price, good quality meat that you can still use for your food bank. How do we help the farmers? What about our local farmers? You buy local. The whole point, and this is what I think you all fail to realize, is that gerrymandering is done by politicians with super PACs. Does it sound like your local farmer who's $180,000 in debt to their farm, barely surviving off the weekly farmers markets they're able to participate in? Does it sound like they'll have an extra $200,000 to give to a super PAC? Because they don't. They won't. For the people who are like, I can't do this, I don't have the money to participate in this, get on your phone. It don't cost no fucking type of money to write no letter and send it to the mail, to call any one of your elected officials on a payphone. It don't cost no fucking money. Maybe some change. You can't call? I'm anxious. I don't know what to say. All you have to say is, I don't like what the fuck you're doing in office. I voted you in there and you're disobeying me. That's all you have to say. I feel like we make things way too complicated. At the end of the day, they work for us. If you're unhappy, tell them motherfuckers I'm unhappy. Now I'm going to ask you a pop quiz. How long did the Montgomery boycott take? Do you have the answer for me yet? Years. Years of a collected effort by one small minority group of people. We're not a small minority group of people. We're not. And our pockets are deep. A lot of our demographics spend a shit ton of money, billions, in the billions of spent, in the billions, some of the biggest spenders in the United States of America. Billions. I don't understand what the American hesitancy is towards telling people, stop fucking with my money, stop fucking with my time. What's going on? Y'all always talking about bad girls club this, I'll beat the bitch's ass that. How about you aim for a politician? They legally work for us. They legally have to answer the phone when we call. They legally have to read our letters when we send them. Or they what? Lose a job. They lose $50,000 a year. They lose a good check. Stop acting scared of these people. We run this country. This is our country. Please. And I understand this is our country and we feel like they never hear us, but how do they always hear us? When we what? Withhold some fucking money. So what are we going to do? Crash the market. Crash the market. What happens if the economy crashes? What happens if the economy crashes? Crash the market. You have a 401k? If 77% of Americans are one paycheck away, or one $400 emergency away from declaring bankruptcy, I guarantee you 77% of Americans do not have 401k. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Y'all acting scared that they're going to take something away from us. We already don't have Social Security. By the time we get to our great-grandparents' age, our grandparents' age, our parents' age, we won't have Social Security. 401ks will be useless. Earth is already dying. So you're telling me you're still scared? What are you scared of? They've taken everything from us. What are you scared of? I need you to be for real with me. What the fuck are you scared of if the government has taken everything away from us? Exactly. You're scared of nothing. So get on your Zoom and start resisting.
Hello, friends. I still don't fully have my voice back, but just saw a video, and y'all already know I've got beef with Texas politics. I lived there from 2001 to 2021. And the reason I am so progressive and I guess liberal at this point, even though I used to be a moderate, but they've definitely pushed me more liberal, is because of Texas. Like, I probably could have gone either way because I was raised without politics being much of anything that we talked about. But the way Texas pushed me around, because I've never been a high earner, never had a high income, the way they pushed me around on a local and state level, yeah, I'm all in. Texas beef boycott. I just went and watched a few videos from a few different people, got some perspectives. I did watch one video from a actual Texas woman who wants us to just boycott the Texas beef company. But I'm sorry. We gotta hurt them. We gotta hit it where, yeah. And it's money. It's always money. That's the only way we ever get their attention. So the economy's got to suffer. And I know that's going to hurt people who are smaller farmers and such. That sucks. It does. There's going to be suffering on both sides. And that's the point we're at. That's where we are. I'm already sacrificing and boycotting so many companies. I go out of my way to drive to companies that I support to do my shopping or order through companies excuse me, that I support. Like, this is the only way I get to express my voice, is by putting my pennies in the pockets of people who are for the people. So, Texas beef boycott, do your homework, look into it, look into the beef that you're buying. You want to mess and you want to play dirty, well, guess what? We can do it too. Stay strong, folks.
If you've been on social media in the last couple days or week, you have probably seen the response to Governor Abbott and the Texas beef boycott. So what do you need to know? How can we be spending our money and putting it where our mouth is and where our values align? So essentially, the companies that we're trying to avoid are Tyson Foods. That's no secret. They've been in the news a lot my entire life, probably your entire life. JBS USA, Cargill, and National Beef. So what we are advocating for is seeking family-run local Texas ranches. If you're in Texas and you buy half a beef every year, look for a cattle ranch that's local to you. Try and support someone in your community where the money is gonna go to pay for dance lessons or 4-H or something like that. Not these big corporations that don't, in the kindest sense of the word, give a shit about you or your family. So I've put together a list of who to avoid. I've put together a list of who to support. If you are in Texas, please tag a Texan. What am I missing? Who should we be supporting right now? I have a couple of special interests in this. I am on the autism spectrum. I love to make a list and an infographic. And when I was doing my undergrad, we had to focus on something within the food industry that we didn't agree with. At the time, I was a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian from the time I believe I was like 8 years old to the time I was 21, which then I started adding meat back into my diet for health reasons. But I am super picky about the meat that I eat and where it comes from. I'm actually dating a man whose family owns a cattle ranch in Idaho. They're working on the website. Once that's up, I'll let the world know so that you guys can order their beef. But we like to joke that happy cows taste the best, and they have a beautiful ranch. The cows are treated well. Back to my undergrad. What was I saying? I chose factory farming. Factory farming is disgusting. It should not exist. It's so bad for the environment. It's so bad for the animals. So I have a little bit of justice sensitivity, something I've been diagnosed with, and I seek justice in all forms. One day I'd love to be a politician. Vote for me in 30 years when I'm old enough. But boycott Texas beef. We are not boycotting small family ranches. Buy your half a beef, buy your whole cow from those people. Don't buy it from Tyson, JBS, National Beef. Stick local, and it's probably gonna taste better anyway. So boycott Texas beef, but not the little guys.
You want to fight alongside the Democrats against what Texas is doing? Do this. Please type Texas beef boycott into the comment section. If the Texas Republicans want to go against the people will show them how we fight back. In 2022, beef revenue produced $15.5 billion for the state of Texas. And what many might not know is that the beef that comes from Texas is its largest share of the Texas agricultural revenue. Cattle sales in the state of Texas accounts for $3.88 billion to the Texas GDP. So if Texas wants to cheat, Texas should pay that price. And no matter what Texas does, the people are the ones who really hold the power. Your buying power is amazingly important. So let's show them just how impactful we can be. Work together, and it's gonna take everyone. So spread the word.
You know I'm all for a boycott. Right now there's a Texas beef boycott. So if you're seeing this, please comment in the section Texas beef boycott, like it, share it, and make your own video. What we're doing as a nation is we're trying to hurt the pocketbooks of the Texas elites who are lobbying to try to control Congress. And the reason is, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, we don't want this to happen, because what that gerrymandering will do is create a chain effect that will impact the rest of the country. We already see New York and we already see California preparing to do the exact same things, which will follow suit. The rest of the states will follow suit. You'll see it happening in Illinois. You'll see it happening in Washington state. The next thing you know, everyone's redrawing their maps. So let's get back to the point. Texas beef boycott. Whether you buy it or not, it's time to talk about it so this word gets spread. And like I said, comment below just literally the words Texas beef boycott. And just to help the algorithm know to tag this video for that. Let's chip in and let's get the word spread for those people who actually do purchase that, so they can maybe, hurt their pocketbooks a little bit.